Tony, you left Brazil at 16 years old. What did you know about what you wanted to do at 16 years old?
Well, actually, I started racing when I was 8 years old in Brazil, and that's all I wanted it to do. And I knew, obviously, Brazil being a third world country, I had to go somewhere else to pursue my dream. So since I was a little kid, I knew I was going to have to leave sooner than later.
What's it like when you tell your parents, hey, I'm leaving at 16 and I want to be a race car driver?
No, obviously, my dad was a big supporter of it. And then I lost him when I was 13. And then Dad made sure that he told my mother that let me race and pursue my dream. So Mom had no choice. You know, he left her with that responsibility. So it was hard for her to let me go, you know, go explore the world at 16 years old, not knowing, you know, where I was going to go. So I actually went to Europe. I lived in a race shop. I slept in a race shop for 3 years.
Wow, this has been your passion, as you mentioned, since you're like 8 years old.
Yeah.
What is it about racing that you think we're so obsessed with? Because when we start to watch it, we can't stop.
I think it's the speed, right? It's like you bring the speed, you're beating, you know, the records. You just like achieving stuff that, especially for boys, for guys, it's everybody wants to drive fast, right?
So well, guess what? Like, some girls want to drive fast too. All right. You joined AJ Foyt's team for 2018, and of course AJ Foyt is a four-time Indy 500 winner, but you're a winner too.
Yeah, we won in 2013, and that was definitely the biggest win of my career. I used to watch the Indy 500 with my dad, and that was a race that we wanted to go together to watch and eventually make me race, and it was great. Obviously, racing for AJ. He's from Texas.
Yeah.
We got together. He won this race 4 times, and he had a pretty struggle year last year. So we put our heads together, and we actually have a pretty good starting spot for the 500 this year. We're in the top 10, and we have a good chance to win.
You say putting your head together. That's the part I think that sometimes people don't realize. You know, we're focused on the car on the track, and that's it. It is a team, isn't it?
It is. It is a team sport. I mean, I can't. It's not like you know, tennis or basketball that one player can actually stand out and make the big difference. I depend on my whole team, my mechanics, my engineer, and the car. So it's something that it's more than just having the best equipment.
Yeah. Everybody has a driver's license who's old enough to drive, just about, right? So we all think we can get in the car and drive, but there's a lot of skill that goes on. First of all, the first skill is I actually got into the cockpit of one of those cars.
It's tight, huh?
I almost didn't make it out. They almost had to get the jaws of life to pull me out. It is tight. You got to keep your body fit.
Yeah, I mean, the cars, they're really teeny. So everybody says, wow, you guys are so small. You know, the seats are custom fit. Obviously, we can make anybody fit in there, but the skinnier you are, the better it is. And the cars are, you know, if you're talking about going at 230 miles an hour, putting 5 Gs into the corner, what people don't know, it's like when you go to a theme park and you go to a roller coaster, that's what we feel for like 2.5 hours when we drive.
So when you're training, what is that skill? What are you doing?
So for the car, there is not a lot you can do. You just really try to make the car faster. So there's a lot of technical things that if we get like too much technical, I don't think the viewers will understand. But every time you're at the racetrack, you try to make the car better. And for you to get better, you just got to drive, right? So it starts, obviously, at this point of my career, when you make the IndyCar, you better know what you're doing.
But there's also even pacing. It's like, it's not always about being out front and in the lead.
It's not about being the fastest. It's not about only being in the lead all the time. It's strategies. You have different parts of the race that you have to judge your competitors and say, well, at this point, I'm not going to force the issue right now. I'm going to let him go because I know I can get him later. So it's like a chess game. Yeah.
You have 3 sons.
Yes.
You don't mind any of them saying, I want to race too?
No, I have 3 boys, and I have another kid on the way, which we don't know what it is. My 11-year-old tried. He wanted to go kart, and I took him. And after a while, he lost interest. So this one, I'm safe. I have a 3-year-old that is crazy about racing, so he might be the one. And then the 18-month, he still doesn't know anything about it. So.
You got a race coming up.
Yep.
And so what is it that you all talk about before you go into that, before you actually take off on that race?
So this race is the biggest race of the year for us, right? It's the Indy 500, it's our Super Bowl. So the biggest thing we do as a team, we get together and we say, we got to do the obvious things right and try to have a smooth day. And if we do that, we're going to put ourselves in a good chance to win. So we win together, we lose together, but let's try to be perfect or have the most perfect day to be able to accomplish what we want.
All right. Well, best of luck to
Thank you.
Is it obrigado?
Obrigado, that's right.
See, it's the one thing I
That's
remember from
right.
being in Brazil. All right. They remember me in Brazil, trust me. Ask about me, they'll tell you. But anyway, best of luck to you,
Thank you.
and thank you so much for stopping by.
Appreciate it. Thank you.